Hey guys, first of all, I have to thank you all so much for us reaching 200 subscribers. So it's going to be a bit of like a longer and hefty video, I guess. I'm just gonna like kind of talk about like where my mind's at, the content creation journey I've been going through the last year, like kind of the things that I tried, and then I guess I realized, okay, that was not too much for me, and then where my focus is, and then talk a little bit about like how my mental health has been and is, and like it's not perfect, but it's better, I think, than before, and then talk a little bit about some like private family relationship stuff, a little bit, not too much in detail, but just like a little bit touch on that. I suppose it's not something I really talk too much about in these videos, but I like being open and honest about most things and, well, really everything in my life. And I don't know, I just like and enjoy being that kind of person, I suppose, on a camera. Yeah, no deep secrets and stuff, so let's talk about it. Hello there. I'm back at my little sanctuary. So, unemployment and mental health. It's about a year that I had no job. I've been unemployed almost. It's actually in 1 month, but the last one of me working, I was basically on vacation. So it's about like June 7th, I've been on vacation and not working. So it's been pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about not having a job for a year. What have I done? How do I feel? Do I regret it? Is everything okay? I don't regret quitting my job. I think I regret like the process of me figuring out what it is that I want to do. Obviously, it's some sort of content creation, making videos thing that I'm like pursuing and wanting to do. I'm still like figuring it out and what I like doing and what it is that I want to do. But I think I have learned and discovered more that it's probably like YouTube and TikTok more than Twitch, because when you're a smaller content creator and you're not like established and people don't really know who you are and stuff, I think Twitch is very difficult to grow on. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on like the games, the communities, like who you are as a person, many things. So I think for the average person, YouTube and TikTok, it's probably just way better to do your own thing, to grow as a person, as a creator. That's what I'm trying to do now and focus more on. After a few months that I had quit my job, and when I finally arrived here in France and everything was kind of like unpacked and I had my PC set up and everything, I really thought and I really like believed that I was going to be a streamer, and that's what I wanted to do, and gaming streamer. So I really focused on that a lot for like a few months, and I really tried to like stream as much as I could, like every single day for like at least a few hours. I really tried to do that and upload shorts as well and to YouTube and try to make YouTube videos, and it was just very draining and I didn't see a lot of growth, and I felt more and more burned out, and I just couldn't stick to it, and I couldn't do it feeling good and being happy and what I wanted to do. So I had to stop eventually. Did I grow as a streamer? Yeah, that was definitely progress, and we were growing, and I was streaming a lot, but we were getting like followers. Like I think maybe I was getting, I'm just guessing here, 30 to 50 followers a month. So like almost average like one follower a day, sometimes less, sometimes a bit more, right? And that doesn't sound like a lot, and I guess it really isn't that much on Twitch, at least, because on Twitch it's like you can have millions of followers and still only have a few thousand viewers, honestly. And still, don't get me wrong, that's not bad, but when you take like the percentage of it, it's like you have more than 1 million followers and then you have like 5,000 viewers at times. The percentage of that is so low. 1% of 1 million, that's 10,000, right? So it's like not even 1% of your followers is like watching the streams. And I definitely felt that too, because I'm getting close to 4,000 followers on Twitch, right? And not even 1% of my viewers watch my stream. So, but it's just, I think on YouTube, on TikTok, it pays off more. And I think the growth is more steady. So I think it just genuinely makes sense and pays off to do YouTube, whether it's long form content or short form or TikToks, right? So that's what I'm trying to do now. And that's what I guess I wish I had spent a bit more time doing earlier, but I'm doing it now and I'm trying to figure out what kind of stuff I want to do. Not having a job and not having to get up every day and just kind of can go to bed and sleep whenever you want to. That's really nice for me. I've never been a person that is good at getting up in the morning. Now, I will say I think that like it can be dangerous also when you're like me, not having a routine and stuff, because you have to really like show up for yourself and be there and say like, hey, okay, am I really putting in the work? Like, am I really doing what it takes? And in my case, a lot of the time, the answer is no. I'm just really not doing the work and putting in the time. So it can be very dangerous, I think, if you're like me and you have a hard time staying motivated and being disciplined and showing up and putting in the work. Because right now, and for the entire, like, besides like streaming really, which it's not that hard work, I suppose, compared to like making videos, editing videos, coming up with videos, scripting, all of that stuff. Streaming, you just, you're playing a video game and you're talking. Like, yeah, it's still like some work, right? But what I'm trying to say is, I don't think there's been even 1 week in almost a year now where I have come close to working 40 to 50 hours on like content creation. Just comparing it to having like a normal job, right? A normal job, it's like around 40 hours, right? That's definitely also a huge part in why growth and success is lacking. I haven't had this crazy like eye-opening spiritual experience or anything, which I would have probably liked to have. Not necessarily that much spiritual, but just kind of like sitting with like, what the heck is it that I need and want to do here in my life, and figuring that out. And it's still like a question that I ask myself a lot and reflect on a lot after a year. And even though I'm not like stressed about work and stressed about like everyday life or whatever, I still really haven't figured it out. But I also distract myself a lot with, like social media, like entertainment, like YouTube, Twitch streams and games and stuff, right? So it's not that I'm sitting down that much and reflecting about it. I've tried sitting down and thinking about it, and I still feel like I'm not really coming to like a solution or like an end goal. So I guess that's also why I kind of stopped. But definitely I would say that for my mental health, it has been better to not have a job. I think I'm quite sensitive as a person, and I overthink a lot, and I can take things in the wrong way, and like then I'm like, oh, does this person really like me, or why did they do that, or and I just think when you're like that, and if you're like in a job where it requires you to speak to a lot of people, it can be very draining and very difficult. And of course that has nothing to do with like the job itself or like the people there at my workplaces, but it's just how I am. And it's not something that works out for me long term. I both really like and enjoy helping and talking to new people in my job, but it's just also something that I have to honestly be honest with myself and say, okay, it's not something I can do every single day for like a long term because of the way I am, because it just tanks my mental health and my everything. It becomes what I obsess over mentally, and I can't rest and I can't like put it down and just relax, really. So because I don't have that anymore, it's been really nice for me being more like calm and not just think about work all the time. I do think a lot about like work in the sense of like making videos. What video should I make? Like, oh, I didn't make a video today, I wasn't productive today, like I didn't really exercise today and no video, and so like, ugh, make me feel bad about it, But I'm making a lot more videos and content that I previously have been doing when I was employed and I had a job and stuff, so that's good. And I guess I have to try and remember that. My mental health is overall better, I would say. I'm overall feeling better. I'm in a better mood, I would say. There's still times and there's still days where it's kind of like, ugh, I don't know. I just feel very like low, or I don't really know. Like, yeah, I think it's a lot more the days where I'm inside a lot and I don't feel like I get a lot of done. So I live with my girlfriend. We live in a little apartment that's like barely 50 square meters, right? So it's not that big, and it's like one plan, and like everything is very close to each other. And my girlfriend, she's like a very like quiet person. She doesn't like, you know, a lot of sounds and music and stuff too often around her, which is okay. But my point is that when you're like I am, I think it's difficult because I need and I strive after having that creative freedom to just like be alone, be myself, say and talk about whatever it is I want to talk about whenever it is that I want to do it. Because that's kind of the whole point and the idea of me quitting my job to go after this like content creation, whatever journey, right? And I don't feel like I can do that at times because I'm always around someone, and I've been used to, for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, to just live alone in my apartment, and I could stream, I could record a video whenever I wanted because I lived alone, right? But I think right now I just wish that we had kind of like the setup of like the apartment, I guess, that we have, but like I had like a bit more of like my own space is what I'm like trying to say that I wish I had. And the reason why I said the thing with like she's like quiet and she doesn't like a lot of sound and stuff, it would be easier if you were someone that was always like watching the TV and the TV was like turned on and stuff, or she was like, I don't know, listening to music out loud or like in her earbuds or videos or whatever, or like anything like that, because then it feels a little bit more like you're isolated and you can at least tell yourself, okay, she can't hear what I'm doing or whatever, so I feel more like that I have my own space. And it's not that I'm saying anything I don't want her to hear, like there's no secrets like that. I know maybe it sounds like that. It's not, because like she knows about my YouTube, she knows about my Twitch stream, she knows about my TikTok, so it's really not. It's just for me as a person, as a creator, how I am. Maybe some of you can relate to it. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. I have no idea, because I have no like creator friends to talk to about this, so I don't know if it's just me, but at least for how I feel, I just really like to be alone when I like stream, or if I do YouTube videos or TikToks. It's a lot more natural for me. It feels a lot more better, and it's just, yeah, it's what I like and it's what I want for this. So that's probably the only and the biggest thing that's been like a bit annoying about this process, I guess. I knew what I was getting into because I'd seen the apartment, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna come live here in this apartment and we're gonna be living like this or whatever, right? So I knew what I was getting myself into, so it's not to blame her at all. I'm just kind of saying, like, I'm just trying to like look at the situation as it is right now, and it's like, what would I like to like work towards? I guess in like the ideal world, we would have like a little tiny house or whatever, and I would have my own separate little shed or room on like the ground that we own, so I could just go to that place and like be creative free or whatever. That's what I would want. And I guess I think sometimes because I feel trapped a bit creatively in a sense, and I feel like I can't just make the videos I want to whenever. Because of this, I sometimes think about, okay, well, maybe I could go back to Denmark for a bit. I don't know, just for a few months or whatever, and see. Also because, so that we have this service in Denmark where, because I've been paying to this thing monthly ever since I quit my job, if I were to go back to Denmark, I would be able to receive a bunch of money, and you have to like search for jobs, which I would be okay doing and stuff, and I don't really know exactly how it works and stuff. But my point is, I could go back to Denmark for a while, and I could like try to find a job for like a short while, maybe just like a part-time job, you know, and I could get like some sort of financial support, because I've been paying to this for like 7 years at this point now, right? And I don't really know like how it works and stuff, honestly. I just know I could go to Denmark, like I could get like some money, and there's some stuff I would have to do, of course, but that would take me a bit away from creating videos. But if it could extend this journey by X amount of months, I think it would be worth it, right? And also then I would be a bit more in my own space a bit. And yeah, of course, if my girlfriend would want to come with me to Denmark, I would love to have her come with me. But I don't know if she would want that, because I don't know. When I ask her sometimes, she's a bit like, she doesn't really know what to say or answer, and she's like a bit shut off away in a sense, and it can be very difficult. We've been together for like 3 years now, and she's like the best girlfriend ever, and she's very understanding as a person, and I love her a lot, and she's just an amazing person. It's a bit difficult for me sometimes, because I don't want to talk like too much about it, I guess, but I have a lot of things that I want to do. I want to try. I would love to try and live in Japan or Korea or America or whatever, Canada, for like a few months, just to see how it is, like I'm doing with France right now, right? I've been doing it for almost a year. I would love that. That would be amazing, like traveling, making videos about that and stuff. I want to do this more, and I want to be able to do this. And I have these kind of ideas, even though I say that I have no idea what I want to do with my life, right? I still kind of have some sort of sense of it's this way. And my girlfriend, she doesn't. And it really hurts my soul and my heart seeing her like that. And I don't know what to do about it. And it's definitely affecting my mental health. And I feel like I can't do anything. I've known her for, we've only been together, as I said, for like 3 years, right? But I've known her for like probably at least 5, right? And we talked a lot. So it's a person, it's a partner, it's something I've had and been close to for a very long time, and that's very dear to me. So it's difficult for me, because there's other aspects in my life, like, not talking too much about it, but with my mom as well, at times I feel like very helpless, and I can't help her. And that hurts, and that is really difficult, because I try my best. I know I probably don't always get it across the right way, but I have the best of intentions for both my mom and my girlfriend. So my point is that I'm already feeling that with my mom. Like, I can't do anything. I can't help her. I can't make her see, Mom, if you don't do something, if you don't change something, it's not going to end well. Is it really like what you want? And in a way, it's selfish, right? Because it's like, I've never had a dad. I've grown up with my mom only, and my grandparents are not here anymore. So I guess in a sense, it's a bit selfish to be like, you need to do something, because otherwise I'm going to feel so alone. And yeah, I'll still have my girlfriend, right? So it's like, please, like, something has to happen, or like in, I don't know, 15 years, maybe 10 years, whatever, I'm going to be alone. My mom's not going to be there. I don't know, but like, and it's just been very difficult, and it's something I'm trying to like process or whatever. And yeah, but then, so when I also feel like this with my girlfriend, I'm getting kind of like, without memeing, PTSD in a sense, right? That I'm like, okay, I've experienced this before with my mom, and I'm coming with like suggestions, and I'm trying to say stuff, and I'm trying to be like, what if we do this, or what if we do that, or, you know? And they're just like, I don't know. And it's like, anything I do or say, I get hit with I don't know as an answer. So I don't know what to do. I don't know, because I'm like, well, would you like this? Or what about if we do that? Or how about we just try this? Or, you know, and I don't know. Okay, but I need you to know something, because I can't have 2 people in my life that is like the 2 people that is dearest, most loved, and closest to me. These 2 people are not accepting my help and my attempt to help. I feel completely like lost. It feels hopeless to me. So yeah. So it's just to say that definitely tanks my mental health, because I feel like completely like, yeah, I have no clue what to do. So I guess that's what I wanted to talk about it, because I don't know. Some of you have experienced something similar with a family member or a close friend or something, where you felt like there was something wrong or an issue and it was like hurting you and you were trying to help, and I don't know, maybe you found a solution, maybe you did something that eventually helped in some sort of way. I think my problem is that, and I'm not going to go too much into specifics, but you could be saying right now, well, how do you know what you want or what you're trying to do is better for them, right? And that's a fair question. But when I'm literally asking my girlfriend, are you okay with how your life is? Would you be fine if this was like how the rest of your life was? And she says no. Then I know that I'm right, because then I'm like, okay, but we have to do something. Then we have to try something, anything, whatever. And she just doesn't know. Then it puts me in a tough spot, because I know something is wrong and something needs to be changed, but I don't know what can be done. So that's why. Yeah. So that, of course, definitely at times affects me heavily. So like, especially like a day like yesterday, it's like I hadn't really been like exercising or going outside or anything or done anything productive, and I don't know if I even recorded a video or not, but those days where it's like I'm just in the apartment and going outside, I'm not exercising, I'm not making a video, like I'm just feeling stuck. And then I asked my girlfriend, hey, do you want to do something or together, or should we do anything, or what are you up to? And it's like, I don't know. And yeah, then it gets tough. And then sometimes I just say, okay, let's just go outside. And well, where are we going? I don't know. Let's just go somewhere, just anywhere, because I need some stimulation in life. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit like my thoughts, I guess, or yeah, what's been in my head since forever. It's not a daily conflict, you know. Sometimes there's very good days. It's not something I think and like have huge internal, like I don't even know how to say it, like storms of mind thoughts or whatever in my mind every single day. This thing, of course, like worrying about my girlfriend or whatever, but it's just like I do worry, and it's one of those things that I worry about. And I have been worried about running out of money, but I'm not so worried about that anymore. But you know, still, it's something I worried about, and worried about my mom, worried about my girlfriend, as I said. Like, so it's just when there's a lot of those things that overlap at the same time, and then maybe I'm having like a day, as I mentioned, where like I haven't been exercising, I didn't go outside, I didn't feel like I did anything good, productive, and I feel like, oh, I can't talk to my girlfriend about, like, maybe actually it's kind of like a way of me to like, oh, I'm not being productive, let's talk about how you can be productive. Maybe I'm reflecting in a sense when I'm doing that, actually. Could be. But I think it helped me. It would help me if I at least feel like, oh shit, I failed today, I wasn't productive in any way. Then I could talk to my girlfriend and be like, oh, so what do you want to do or like to do or work towards, and then I just feel like I'm being met with that, right? No answer thing. I think it gets very tough for me. And then I go a bit like down in the basement or whatever. But yep, that's kind of it, I suppose. If you're still sitting through it, thanks for still being here, watching. If you're not already subscribed, of course, do that, please. That lets me know that you like me and you want to support me. It's probably the best way of supporting the channel. Liking and commenting, of course, it always helps as well with the video. I would appreciate it if you could do that. And then it's just, there's nothing else to say than thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.